what is the top thing to look out for when a contractor is working on your home? Well, that's insurance coverage. Today we're going to talk about the number one thing, and that is insurance coverage. And I am going to address it from a couple of different perspectives. What a homeowner should look for, and also what is important for a contractor. So you contractors out there, of course, you need to make sure that you do have that insurance, and you homeowners, you need to make sure that the contractor also has that insurance. So let's talk about it. The most important thing for you as a homeowner to make sure that the contractor that you hire has what is called general liability insurance. General liability insurance is a policy that ensures that your home is covered by any damages done by the contractor while working on your home. So this includes things like your driveway, your car, your patio, decks, porches, things like that. And the worst thing, of course, that could happen, for instance, is like a fire. Or for instance, they tear off the roof and it rains, and of course, your roof wasn't covered well enough, and then now you have all sorts of damages on the roof and maybe even inside the house. We're imperfect people in an imperfect world and doing our best with what we have. And unfortunately, mistakes are bound to happen. So simply put, what this insurance does, it covers any of these mistakes. Okay, so the next one is the workers' compensation. Now what this does, it covers workplace accidents. And well, the workplace is your home. Because when you hire a contractor, they come to your home to do the work. So this is the place, the space where accidents obviously can happen. And here's the thing, because it's on your property, you're liable. So obviously you want to make sure that the contractor has workers' compensation. So that's just something really important to know. So things that are super common, for instance, in accidents, more so common than actual falls from the roof. And yes, of course, being up there, the workers are susceptible to falling, but it's not that common. And of course, the guys are usually pretty careful with that. But when things get really, really careless is one, towards the end of the day, because the workers are very tired and they have to clean up everything. So you're looking at things like cuts, bruises, and actually a common one is twisted ankles, infections, things like that. So as I said, you want to make sure that the contractor that you hire has workers' compensation. So here's the thing. The contractor that is working on your home, you want to make sure not only, of course, that they have the insurance, but that they have adequate insurance. So for instance, if you have a $2 million home, but the coverage only covers $1 million, well then obviously there's a problem here. So for instance, worst case scenario, house burns down and your home is worth $2 million, but once again, their coverage only covers $1 million. To fully replace and rebuild your home, they need to have a coverage of at least $2 million. So that's something else that you want to keep an eye out for. So you want to make sure that they have adequate coverage. And the same thing is with the workers' compensation. $500,000 of workers' compensation, realistically, is actually not enough. What is the worst possible thing that can happen on a job? Now, of course, we don't want to talk about this. It's not something nice to talk about, but unfortunately, this is a very small, but a possibility. So this is not just obviously for the homeowners to understand, but of course for the contractors to understand this. Somebody could actually die on the job. The reality of rebuilding a roof, it's dangerous, and it's not, it's not the safest job on the planet. Normally it's pretty safe. Of course, contractors take precautions and they know obviously what they're doing, but once again, imperfect world, imperfect situations, things do unfortunately happen. So it's super important to have proper coverage. Now, from the roofer's perspective, it's super important that you get an umbrella policy. It's exactly what it means. It's an umbrella over the business. You never know when the umbrella is going to come in handy. So talk to your local insurance agent or whoever you work with to understand this, to really get as much information about this. Because the truth of the matter is the added coverage really gives you a peace of mind. So the other thing you want to keep in mind as a roofer, of course, the job site is really important, but not only that, accident can actually happen even on the road. And what I mean by that is that if you have workers who are driving your company car to the job site. So once again, you want to make sure that you have adequate coverage for that. Think about it this way. The company car has an accident and it hits a $250,000 McLaren. That's going to be a bad day. So once again, you want to make sure that you have adequate coverage for these kind of situations. Okay, now so as a homeowner, how can you make sure that your contractor does have adequate coverage? So one of the things that you can do is ask for a copy of their certificates, and the second thing that you can do is you actually can contact the insurance agent yourself. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a crazy story. I have done a whole video on horrible contractors and bad roofing, so I highly recommend you go onto our channel and check this out. I have heard stories where contractors have forged their insurance. They have forged the documents. They just make up the insurance company and the insurance policy. So to really double check, you might as well just call the insurance agent yourself directly. The other thing you want to also look out for is that you want to make sure that the insurance is still valid. And when is the expiration date? That's super important. The other thing that you can do is that you can actually request to be added to the bottom of the insurance certificate. It's that section that says additional insured. So you can actually have your name and your address added to that list. So what that does is that when that policy expires, you will actually be notified. And so ultimately, you just want to make sure that you have coverage for the time frame of the job of the repair of your home and your roof. Now, the truth of the matter is, for instance, with roofing, within a day or two, the job will be done for the most part, but sometimes it can take a little longer. So having this notification, knowing that you are covered for the time of the job is really important. And of course, once again, it gives you a peace of mind. Okay, so those are my tips for today. As I said before, guys, just remember we're imperfect people in an imperfect situation, doing the best we can. And of course, things do happen. Sometimes it's completely out of our hands. So of course, having that insurance, it just gives both parties a peace of mind. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. And of course, if you would like us to give you a roof quote or a solar quote, you can go to the description box below, or of course, you can go to our website for more information. Have a good day.